I'm Casey Paron. I'm a Bundjalung woman and I'm a relieving deputy principal at Tweed River High School.
How long have you been here?
I've been here for 9 weeks, 10 weeks. Very new to the space.
And my name's Donna. I'm a Wiradjuri woman from out Dubbo, Narromine Way, and I am the principal of Tweed River High School, and I've been here for nearly 12 months. So we started with just small things on the board, talking about circles, talking about high expectations, talking about what a backpack looks like on every student, but especially our Aboriginal students in the school. So we started to embed it there.
I think one of the things that we very quickly identified was the stereotyping and the incidental kind of assumptions that we staff collectively made about students. So I think we worked really deeply to challenge our staff and help them understand the importance of high expectation relationships. We worked really hard in those coming weeks to continue to develop that emotional bank account, to really challenge our colleagues and say, hey, have you thought about that? Where do you really sit in that, and that layering and that unpacking of those assumptions that we accidentally make.
It also taps into that unconscious bias, that people, you talk to staff in schools and everyone's got the right, the reasons they're at a school or a teacher, they're there because they want to help kids. But there is unconscious bias amongst a lot of people, and to unpack that in a way that isn't confrontational and to make them feel safe, especially our non-Indigenous colleagues, but even our Indigenous colleagues, there are unconscious biases. And I think from Strong as Smart, it's that grounding, that building high expectations and that building of relationships. For me, that's the first and foremost thing that we need to do out of school. And I'm always thinking about, even back to, the layering of getting your foundation strong and your pillars and those sort of things that you guys took us through. We can always build on those, and from a head teacher to a deputy to a principal, I can embed those principles into a school. So I love it, and I think, I support it in every school. It should be in every school. Look, I think for me it comes back to conversations with students. My principal door for students is always open, and for me building strong relationships with students is super important, where they feel comfortable. I identify as being Aboriginal. That's the first thing I speak of when I'm on an assembly or with people. They know who I am and that I'm proud of where I come from, and that we were having a conversation not 2 days ago with an Aboriginal boy who was in a really difficult place, and we said to him, you've got 2 Aboriginal people in the school, not just leaders, we're Aboriginal people, so you come in and you have a yarn to us when there's an issue. So I have that. I have the kids come in and want to sit down and feel safe in this space in a principal's office. That's pretty big.
It's about connect. As soon as you can make that connection with the kid, they already know that is the connection, and I already know that's that continuous connection that I can keep drawing on. For some kids it's about fishing, for some kids it's about sport, for some kids it's about reading a book. It's about an open door. Like, you'll never see my door shut. It's always open. The kids wander in, they wander out. They can be honest. I can be honest, and we have very respectful relationships because they know where they stand. It's that consistent approach. Whether I'm a teaching deputy, so whether I'm in the classroom or whether I'm dealing with them about a matter, they're going to get the same person. I have the same high expectations, whatever environment I'm in, and I think they appreciate that.
What I loved about the Stronger Smarter program, and I still say it's the best program I've done in my teaching career, and something that I can embed in every school with every student, not just Indigenous students, and you can embed with your staff and your parents. It's got the capacity in so many different ways to sort of navigate issues, but also to, like you say, build high expectations in everyone, and understanding that the Aboriginal, the way that things were done are still strong. That's the first thing that I'd say to students. You are sitting on land here that has got so much history, but it's not old history. We are continuing the stories. They're not gone, they're not dead. So let's continue the stories and keep it a strong space to be educated, because that's what it was. Kids were educated in this space long before we came here. So let's keep that grounding, and for them to know where they're sitting, and to always recognise that they are the keepers of the knowledge in the future. So how do we make them feel proud of where they sit? And even if they're off country, you know, or even if they're not Aboriginal kids, you respect where you are, respect the history behind it, and how do you contribute to that in the future?
It's a hard question. Don't know. Like, I think for me, the work is never done. There is always work to be done. Yeah. It's
hard. We get emotional talking about this stuff because we're so passionate. I can see you starting to quiver, and I've already done that. You know, that's passion.